I always feel like I'm not in the frame.
Yes, you're good.
Okay, good.
Your whole face, everything from here up is in the frame.
Good.
You're good.
Back to me.
Just don't move to your right.
Okay. Don't move to my left, you said? Okay. Quick exit. Hi everyone, welcome to Knitting with Clouds. My name is Anne. You can find me on Ravelry as knittingwclouds. So I keep forgetting to mention that I do have a Knitting with Clouds Ravelry group on Ravelry if you guys are interested in joining. There have already been 2 people, and I want to thank those of you who have joined. And also I want to thank the people who have subscribed to my channel. I'm intensely encouraged from seeing that, so I want to thank everyone. And if you want to subscribe, please subscribe. I am joined here today again by my good friend. Would you want to introduce yourself?
Joined again. It's like a portent of doom. I'm Camila. I'm Camila. I was on the podcast.
I don't know why
one time ago.
Put her on here.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm on here either because I'm very rude.
She is, and she's a liar.
I'm a liar too.
A liar.
It sounds like the beginning of an old western.
A liar with a Geiger counter.
Anyways, at the moment, I just finished eating something that Anne made for me. This was homemade almond ice cream, and it was so good that I ate it all in the 5 seconds it took her to set up the camera. So
what she doesn't mention is that she only had 2 spoonfuls.
No, but only because I'm saving some more for my roommate, but that's gonna be gone.
So that actually brings me, that's actually a good segue into something that I wanted to mention to you guys. So I didn't manage to get, well, I did manage to get a bit of knitting done, but I had to take a break in between a couple of days because I actually got a fairly serious cut on my finger.
Sorry.
Every time something bad happens, she giggles.
No, I'm making a sad face.
I should ask you to put a dime in the curse jar every single time you laugh at something. That's not supposed to be. That's not funny.
I won't laugh.
Liar. I also need a button for that sound. Every time she lies, hit that button. But yeah, so I actually got. I was cleaning some blades of a food processor, and I was repositioning my grip, and I actually got this cut on my thumb. And I made some ice cream for Camilla because I wanted to thank her for getting me through that horrifying process. I think I actually went into shock because I couldn't think straight, and during that entire time I was just like, Camilla, I'm going to die! And she was like, calm down, Anne, you're not gonna die. How long is the cut? And I was like, it's not that long. She was like, is it gushing blood? I was like, do you find gushing? I was seriously freaked out. I was just like, oh my god, do I need to go to the emergency room? And now I understand why people go to emergency rooms for cuts on their fingers. Because sometimes you just get really freaked out and you don't know what to do and you don't want to lose your finger. Because then I won't be able to knit.
Oh no!
Yeah, so she got me through that process, but unfortunately for her, I almost gave her a heart attack because at one point I had replaced the paper. I was terrified that I was going to die. So instead of using just a bandage, I used paper towels. And at one point I was going to replace the paper towel because of course it was getting stained. So I changed it, and it was hard to rip paper towels when you're when you're trying not to move your finger because every time I move a finger, blood. So I had like half a paper towel and I pushed it up against my finger, I wrapped a bandage around it, and I was just like, okay, it's just gonna stay like that. And then she was concerned about me. She was like, Anne, how's it looking? And I took a picture of my finger.
It's like, Anne, send me a photo because like maybe I do have to take you to emergency. Like maybe it needs like 1,000,000 stitches. Okay, sure. Like I'll take you. Like if you're really gonna die, I'll take you to emergency. So Anne sends me a photo, and in the photo, her entire thumb is like swaddled in a bandage, and I was like, oh my gosh, did you cut your entire thumb open? I was like, and that definitely needs stitches. What are we even talking about? Let's go to emergency.
She was like, how's it looking? And then I sent her the picture, and then she texted me back. She was like, oh my god, how big is that cutting?
I thought it was that long. Because that's what it looked like.
And then I was like, no, it's a centimeter.
It was a centimeter. Like, it's like a little nick. I saw it.
It's not a nick. It was like, okay, so the next day I went to see a nurse, and then she took a look at it, and if I had gone there earlier, because it was past 12 hours since the cut, if it was before 12 hours, they actually would have put stitches in it, but since it wasn't, and because the blades are very sharp, it was a very clean cut, so they were just like, okay, just bandage it up and keep it clean. And it's getting better now. I can knit again.
They said bandage it, keep it clean, and don't freak out your friends anymore.
They didn't see the last part, so I can continue to freak out
That
my
shaved
friends.
like a year off my life, I think, because I was so terrified. It was okay, anyways, Anne's better now. Life goes on.
Okay, so last time I told you guys that I was going to the yarn store with my friends. We bought some yarn. It turned out to not be enough to make an entire scarf. The scarf looked like a belt when I was through with the yarn that my friend, she heard this before actually. She's still
I did?
Do you have amnesia?
Wait, who am I?
Hurry, quick, to the emergency room! Okay, but anyways, as I was saying, the wool that my friend bought the yarn that my friend bought turned out to be not enough, so I texted her. She was back home on the East Coast, we're on the West Coast, and she said,
We are?
Okay.
Sorry! I don't have any money.
10 cents.
I didn't curse, I just was annoying.
I should just charge you every time you lie.
But
It'll be like me cursing and you lying. So it says curse jar on here.
It's a liar jar.
But it covers a wide range. It's not just cursing. So for me, it would be cursing. For her, it would be cursing with placeholder words.
Okay.
And using friend's name without asking permission, revealing personal information, and lying.
I do that a lot.
Lying. That's gonna be the main one for her. And in case you're wondering why I have a curse jar, I thought it would be fun that, eventually it's gonna get to the point where I have enough money in this jar to go buy some yarn.
Yeah!
And then, I might do a giveaway in that case.
You could make it for me because I probably put all the money in there.
No.
Oh.
But yeah, so my friend said, I trust your judgment, which was a mistake, I think.
Oh, yeah.
It's always a mistake when you ask me about my advice on color, because I'm terrible at colors. So she said, I trust your judgment. Just buy whatever you think is best. And I was like, okay. And I walked around the yarn store for like 3 hours.
Well, you didn't tell me that part.
I did. I went back to the yarn store and walked around the store for 3 hours. I'm pretty sure the shop assistants know who I am now.
They do.
And I walked up to the counter after I selected my yarn, and the guy was like, "After all that, huh?"
Wait, you didn't tell me that part.
He said that. And then the last time I went with her, and then I was like, I want to buy some yarn, and I have this problem where I can't tell, like, when they're very similar shades.
Oh, yeah.
I have a hard time telling them apart, so I was like, I was looking at some yarns with her, and I was like, which one seems the lightest? And she was like, wait, that one. No, wait, that one.
Yeah, because I'm also not much better.
And then she was like, wait, they're green. I was like, what? I thought they were blue.
It's like, no, they're green.
And I was like, what? That's
clearly
not what
like turquoise.
Camilla, you're making this worse. You're supposed to make this better and easier for me. But no, and then, so I was like, okay, you know what? I need to think this over. And I decided to come back later. I went to the different yarn store, looked around there, didn't find anything. I was like, okay, I think I know what I want. So I went back to the first yarn store, looked around for a little while longer, made my selection, went up to the cash register, where the guy that I was talking about just now, he was like, it's been a challenge, hasn't it?
That's so much attitude from the yarn store guy. Like, calm down. Who cares if someone spends 3 hours in your yarn shop? That's so much sass.
But yeah, so, I don't know. He's pretty nice usually.
Okay.
So I don't really mind it. But anyways, while I was there, I was, my friend was making her selection for the yarn, for the scarf that she wanted me to make. And I was looking in the sock yarn section, and I was like, I'm really interested in making some socks, but I don't want to make them for myself because I don't like socks or shoes or anything that goes on my feet, because I'm very particular about what goes on my feet. So I didn't want to make socks for myself, and I asked my friend, are you interested in having me make socks for you? And she said, yeah, but Probably not with the wool here. I want like Icelandic wool because she's interested in skiing.
Oh yeah.
So she wanted like really warm socks for her skiing. So eventually I might learn how to knit socks.
From Icelandic wool.
Yeah.
What's that even like? What is Icelandic wool?
I don't know.
Is it like from what creatures live in Iceland? Are they like Iceland cows or like?
Are there cows in Iceland?
I don't know.
I don't know, because Greenland's the one that's with ice, and Iceland's
Oh
the one
yeah, with the green.
Yeah.
We learned. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Continue.
But yeah, so last week I told you that we were going to a tea party at our friend's place. It ended up being postponed, and that's why we're dressed up all fancy today. You can't really see because we're sitting down, and you can only see us like from up here.
We're incredibly fancy. Like, just take our word.
It felt very awkward walking through the grocery store. But yeah, so we went over to her house, and she used the doilies that I made for her. I showed you guys that last time, and I was really, really happy that she used it because
they look so nice, and she has a really nice tea set.
Yeah.
Like what Royal Albert?
Yeah.
Royal Albert china, bone china, and the doilies were underneath the cups, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, and then she had like the big one under her too.
Yes. So big.
Yeah, I was really flattered that she used it.
And made this put a sunflower on her hat for the tea party.
Yeah, so this is, if you remember from the first episode, this is the Tsubaki cotton hat by Pierrot, and I made this flower to stick it on because I tried it on this morning, and it looked kind of plain without the sunflower. I stitched it on like super fast, so I'm probably gonna take it off, find a ribbon, and then like put the ribbon, and then put the flower.
You should. Okay. Is the sunflower like freehand? Like, did you just make it up? Or
no, it was a pattern.
Okay.
I'll try to find what pattern I used for that. Did I thank my subscribers? Yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
Okay. We recorded this once before.
Yeah.
But then we were extremely frantic because we misjudged the amount of time. There's just so much going wrong, and yeah, that's why we decided to re-record this.
In the previous recording, I was like frantically cooking in the background and burning everything.
All you could see was a torso saying hello.
Yeah. And me like burning things, and I burned my finger, and I dropped things, and then I started crying. And it was not good. So.
She didn't start crying.
Well, like inside my head, I did though. You know, Anne.
But we went to our friend's house. She had cats, and we played with the cats, so that made everything better.
Cats. They're very fluffy.
I think she had a cat that's like at least part Norwegian forest cat. It was so soft.
And so big for its age.
Yeah, it's only like 8 months old, and it's like gigantic. So, yeah, I have some yarn that I use for my friend's scarf. I'm going to show you that when I get back home. But for now, Camilla wanted to show off some stuff.
Yes. Okay, so I was going to do this last time and had me on the show, but we ran out of time.
Yeah, and I forgot. I'm a terrible person.
Okay. And last time we were at the house of our friend who was watching the football game, and they were yelling, and we forgot everything.
And then the first time we recorded, it got cut off.
It didn't record, and that was some good comedy material, though.
No.
Okay.
No more toilet jokes.
but oh. Well, I have to say I don't like this one as much because I'm not sitting on the toilet. So, anyways, Anne made me 3 things for Christmas, and they were super pretty. So first is this one I'm wearing right now. This is a pink scarf with a leaf pattern on it. Oh, wrong way. There we go. So you can see what it looks like, and it's really soft, and it's a really, really nice kind of pastel pink. I just really like it because it's very pastel. It reminds me of an 18th or 19th century gentleman's scarf that he would wear to the opera, and that's a good thing in my book. So I like that a lot.
I don't know where she gets that.
I don't know. It just makes me feel fancy. I feel fancy. The other super cool thing she made me was this. So this is, for all you Whovians out there, is a TARDIS, because of course I love Doctor Who. Here's it. Okay, so this is the TARDIS, and there's a nice constellation at the top, so it's very time and spacey. Very cool. I have this. I put this on my wall, and I like that a lot.
I'm glad and I'm flattered that she didn't like stick it in her drawer and hide it away.
Yeah. What is this? Yeah. I really like it. And the third thing she made me was this, which is super pretty. This is for a summertime tea, and this Well, I'm not getting like paid to endorse this or anything.
Yeah, she's
only
not.
like the $50 she gave me before the show.
What
But
$50? I'm not that rich. I gave her like a penny out of the curse jar.
oh yeah, that was good.
I didn't.
So let me take this one off. So this is a thing that Anne made me too, and this is like kind of a shoulder covery thing, like a little shawl. And this I would wear to like a summertime tea party. If I had like a strapless dress on, or a sleeveless dress, because I don't wear strapless dresses, it would look really nice. And it's also very soft, and it makes me feel like a Spanish noblewoman. So that's always a good thing too.
Okay, do you want to show just how much progress you've made on your scarf?
Oh, I'm embarrassed though. It's like nothing. I've been doing other projects, FYI, including making a present for Anne.
Oh my gosh!
So,
I wanted to show the present that you gave me.
Wait, where is it downstairs?
It's in the car.
We'll show it next time. Because I don't have. Do I have a? I don't have a sample one, do I? No, I don't. Don't look in there. The secret stuff.
That's where
she'll
she
show it
keeps
next
this.
time.
That's where she keeps the skulls of her enemies.
How did you know?
I looked.
So this is, I'm working on this. I have not made any progress since last time because I've been doing other things and I had a ton of things to do. But I'm working on a old shale scarf. An old shale or feather and fan is a pattern that is really easy.
I wonder if it's showing up properly this time.
Yeah.
This is purple.
It's purple. So yeah, last time we recorded this it looked blue, but this is a solidly like purple yarn. I like the feel of it. It's cotton yarn.
Oh, by the way, I found out that this isn't really fuchsia. Fuchsia is more the color of
this is not fuchsia. Yeah, fuchsia is my needle color. This is more just like purple. So I'm doing feather and fan or old shale, and I love this pattern. I made a scarf out of this pattern many years ago for my sister, and she loves it. It holds up really well, and it's very easy for someone who's kind of intimidated to try lace, which I am. Did I tell them the story about the knitting needles and
falling off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did. Okay, we went over that. I'm still angry sometimes about that, but it's okay. That was the scarf.
Sometimes if you listen very carefully, you can hear the echoes of her screaming.
Yeah, you can though, like for real. And it's not even like a joke. But yeah, I love the pattern Old Shale. There are a lot of different versions of it, so there's not really one person to credit. It's kind of like a traditional pattern. But it's really easy, and I really like it. And I like this purple color, so I'll do more promos. But I do promise. When I don't do it, then you can tell me. I will do things. I promise.
Okay. Well, I think that's all we have to cover right now. I left most of my stuff at home because I didn't want to be dragging all of that over to my friends for the tea party. So yeah, I'll film a little bit more when I get home. And thank you for
without me though.
Yeah, because you're busy. She told me she was busy. Yeah. I was like, hey, let's do this. Let's do this. And she was like, no, I'm busy. I had to convince her. I had to work really hard to convince her.
Not that hard. I like doing this a lot.
Rude! It's like, I know that I'm holding up the curse jar, but I'm really saying that she's a liar right now. Whenever I hold it up to her, liar!
Rude!
Okay, well, that's all I have. That's all we have right now, I think.
I think so. I showed off the things you made for me.
You have.
Showed off the ice cream that Anne made for me, which was so good.
Almond flavor.
My gosh. Almond flavor. I love almond flavor. I would eat almond extract like raw if I could, but I would probably die.
Yeah,
so, yeah, it was so delicious.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna say bye right now, and I'll see you again when I get home. All right.
Okay, bye.
Hi everyone. I hope you can see me. I am just way too tired at this point to make sure that I'm in this space where you can actually see me. I left my podcast notes at Camilla's place and I think she's gone to sleep by now. So I just spent like the last hour tracking down all the information that was contained in my notes. And it's 10 o'clock now. I'm getting pretty tired, so excuse me if I seem a little de-energized. So this segment is going to be about the things that I normally talk about: works in progress, finished objects, dash. So since the last time I recorded the last episode, I have, as I mentioned in the first segment, finished a scarf for one of my friends, and I have a picture of it. I took several pictures of it, so I'm going to go ahead and insert those right here. And the pattern I use is the Wise Old Oak pattern by Fiberflux. It's a crochet pattern. And for the yarn that my friend chose was the Classic Elite Yarns Liberty Wool Sunset Frost. To me it looked like a rainbow. And the colors were nice, but I didn't actually enjoy working with the yarn that much, mostly because I found it to be pretty splitty. And that's just, I guess, one of my pet peeves with yarn. Is if it's splitty. So even though it was fun watching the colors change, I really didn't appreciate the splittiness of the yarn. And the second color that I used was Malabrigo Vestita in the Solis color, and I have a bit of it left. This was really nice to work with. It's really soft. I'm not really sure what to call it. It's good resistance when you squeeze the yarn, like each individual thread. I'm not really sure if resistance is a good word, but it's sort of like squishy. It's bouncy. And this yarn, I really enjoyed working with it. Not a color I would normally go with, but in my opinion, it went with the color that my friend had initially picked out. And if you disagree, feel free to say so in the comments. When I bought it, the yarn store that I went to with my friend, well, it was the second time I went, so my friend wasn't with me. But when I went, they were doing this sort of, they were still doing sort of a end of the year clearing event. So there weren't a whole lot of colors or yarns left. There was actually a lot of empty space in the shelves. They were waiting for their next shipment of new yarn for the new year. So I'm not really sure if that would be the color that I would choose, the Vestita Solis. I'm not sure if I would choose it if I had other options, but I think that was the best one. And the person who the scarf ended up being ultimately given to, she messaged me and said that she really liked the scarves that I made for her, so that makes me really happy. I am greatly relieved that the color choice I made was acceptable, because that would have been terrible if I just made like some awful clashing, chose like an awful color that clashed with the original color palette. But the original color was variegated, like very variegated. Like I said, it was like a rainbow, so I wasn't really sure what to do. But yeah, so one thing. I remembered that I had forgotten to delete the segments with Camilla in it from the memory card, so I just wanted to do that. Take a pause right then and do that so that this doesn't run out of memory like it did for the last episode. Alright, so that was the scarf that I made for my friend. Works in progress. That was my only finished object, that scarf. The main thing that I've been working on this whole time is the link scarf. The link scarf from Zelda Hyrule Warriors. And it's been an uphill battle. I had many false starts. I actually have one of my false starts here. This is actually the bottom of the first time I started. Compare that. Since it was stripped down here, I didn't want to bother, frogging this entire section, because I was planning on making each of these stripes thicker, so I would have to tie yarn together, and I just didn't want to deal with that. So I just made the decision to just go as far back as this blue, the main blue section went. And I'll probably use the rest for something like the crest. So there have been a lot of problems with the scarf. I decided to increase the width of these stripes. The second time after I got these strips down, I forgot that stocking net likes to curl, and so it ended up curling drastically, horrendously, so I had to rip it all back. And I think I ripped it all back up until, oh no, that was the first time, and then when I started the second one, I decided to, or I remembered to put in an edge, which has been pretty good at keeping it straight. It's still curling, but that's because I haven't blocked out this upper section. So I blocked it up until about here, and as you can see, it's staying pretty straight. So it's been very, very monotonous just doing stockinette. As you can see, I'll just show you how much stockinette I have, and it just keeps going and going. And I've finally gotten to the kerchief part of the scarf. Still not sure if this is what I want to do with it. It's entirely possible I might rip it back again, as I have already 4 times or so working on the kerchief section. I'm hoping this is the last section. I am so exhausted of knitting by doing this project. I am actually taking a couple days off. Just a little bit further to go, but I'm gonna take a breather because I think I might go insane if I keep on going. And so I remember watching the Bakery Bears and Dan, who is one of the podcasters. He podcasts with his wife. The Bakery Bears Knitting Podcast. He was working on a scarf, and I remember that for several episodes, I remember that he was working on something like a cowl of doom or something like that, or a scarf of doom. It kept on going and going, and just he was saying that, oops, that might be Camilla replying to me about my request for my podcast notes, but it's a little too late because I've already written them down. But yeah, he was saying that his scarf was going on and on and on and taking up so much time, and I sort of feel that same way about my link scarf. But the yarn is nice, I will say that. It is the Cascade Yarn Venezia Sport in Peacock Blue. Initially I thought this was going to be too dark, but it looks dark in this light. It looks dark in this light, but in the sun, in brighter light, like sunshine, it actually looks really appropriate. The color looks really appropriate for the scarf that I'm basing it off of. The sort of reddish color at the bottom sort of like a reddish orange. That is Cascade Yarn Ultra Pima Fine in Paprika. And this is really nice yarn. It's really shiny, which suits my purposes. And this is the Venezia Sport is, I think, 30% silk, 70% merino wool, and it's really soft, and I think my friend will really like it. I was actually going to, I mentioned to you guys several times already, I think. I was thinking about doing the pattern for Hyrule Warriors scarf by Caitlin Stewart. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. But it is a scarf that's knit in the round, as in a tube scarf, and I didn't want to do that because I didn't think that the drape would be quite right. So I decided to make up my own pattern, which is why it's taking so much time and effort. But I'm still going to be using the pattern for the crest that she has for that scarf pattern. I hope I'm making sense. But yeah, I just wanted to look a little bit more like the actual scarf. Other works in progress. I will be making some more mantilla doilies. I've got the one, I finished the last one I made. It's somewhere, not quite sure, but I'm going to be making a whole set. Once I get that finished, I'll show that to you guys before gifting it away. Stash. Okay. So this is some more yarn that I'm going to be using for my link scarf. The first one is Cascade Yarn Ultra Pima Fine. 100% Ultra Pima. And this is in the tangerine colorway. And I'm not really sure if it'll pick up in this light or on this on the camera, but this yarn is like super shiny. It's really nice. It's like, really nice. I keep saying that, but that's the only thing I can think of to describe these yarns. They're all really nice, except for the splitty ones. I don't like the splitty ones. Sorry, splitty yarn. It applies for knitting and crochet. I just have no patience for a splitty yarn. Although some, like, I will say that the splitty yarns can also have like really nice colors. I just can't deal with them. Okay, so this next one I am kind of excited about because I bought this yarn specifically for the purpose of making a design, like this small design on the link scarf. As you can see, there's this, or maybe you can't, but this yarn has some glitter in it. I'm just gonna try and rotate this thing, see if it won't catch on the light. Okay. So this is Cascade Yarns Sunseeker. Cascade Yarns, I really like that. If you can't tell, I really like that company. So this is 47% cotton, 48% acrylic, 5% metallic yarn. Normally I don't like glittery stuff because I find that they tend to make me itch. But first of all, this scarf isn't for me. Second of all, this isn't going to be on the part that goes around the neck, so it wouldn't be much of an issue anyway. So, for those of you who are familiar with Link and the Zelda franchise, you will also be familiar, probably, with the Triforce. And for those of you who aren't familiar, in the game there are 3 golden triangles and power, wisdom, and courage. And it, you know, bad guys are always trying to take the Triforce and take over the world, and other people are trying to keep them from getting the Triforce. And the thing is, the main thing I'm trying to get at, golden triangles. Golden yarn, sparkly. So my friend does not like glitter. I don't like glitter either. But I remembered this one time when I was making, okay, so another game background thing. Zelda game franchise. There's this woman called Impa in Hyrule Warriors. My friend cosplays sometimes. She wanted me to make her a scarf. Impa's scarf from Hyrule Warriors. And then I took her to, you know, just one of those big box stores, I think is what they're called. So someplace like Joann's. Went in, I was helping her look for some yarn that was of the right color, and I asked her, you know, so what kind of yarn are you looking for? And she said, anything that does not have glitter, or like, you know, sparkly stuff. And then I pointed, so immediately, me being the good friend that I am, I pointed to the most sparkly yarn that I could see, which was what happened to be right in front of me. And I said, oh, this one looks nice. And she looks at me and she's like, Anne, I might have to kill you. So, obviously, this was not completely intentional. I did, part of the reason why I spent such a long time in the yarn store was because I couldn't find anything that was like this gold color. Everything was like this sort of pale yellow, or like this really dark, like darker than this gold. It was sort of bordering on the edge of brown, and I didn't really like those. And then I saw this one, and I was like, oh, gold. Ooh, sparkly. Perfect. And yeah, I'm a good friend, right? Maybe not. But I got this yarn. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the rest of it, because I'm only gonna have to use a little tiny bit for the Triforce, I expect. I might make my friend a scarf. She might kill me, but it'll be worth it, I think. Maybe. But yeah. So that's all the knitting stuff that I have to show you guys this week. Knitting and crochet, because mantia doily, that's, oh! Yes. The mantia doily. Sorry guys. I'm so discombobulated today, but that's just because of how hectic the past month has been. It's been so hectic. It was nice to have a tea break because we really, really needed that. But mantia doily. It's designed by Coats Design, and I'm using it once again. I'm using the Aunt Lydia's Classic Crochet size 10 in white. Alright, and two last things I have to show you before this runs on too long. Sorry guys. I got some presents. I got some Christmas presents from Camilla and my friend who had us over for tea today. So I'm gonna have to say this. Camilla's into bookbinding. I hope that doesn't count as revealing personal information. I'll ask her. Maybe she'll have me delete this segment. But so this is a present from Camilla. It's sort of this little journal thing. I wonder if you guys can see that. And it's super nice. And she gave this to me as... Alright you guys, my camera just told me that it is time to wrap things up. By which I mean it turned off on me. So, one last time. I don't know if it got onto the previous segments, I'm just gonna hold it up again. Really nice teacups from my friend. Looking forward to making some tea in it right now, even though it's like 11 at night now. Eating the Welsh cakes from Camilla. They're delicious, Camilla. Thank you very much. They're very special. That's what she was telling me. I asked her to make me some scones and she was like, oh man, I was planning to make you some special stuff. After I filmed the previous segment with Camilla, she mentioned that she was saddened by the dearth of toilet jokes. I am not saddened by the dearth of toilet jokes. I think the amount of toilet jokes in this episode is perfect at the level at which it is, which is 0. Camilla, thank you for not making any toilet jokes. If you guys, my viewers, are interested in having some more toilet jokes in this podcast, say so. If you do not, please also say so. If you guys really want more toilet jokes from Camilla, I will tell her that she can make toilet jokes, although I'm not sure if my camera will be able to take it. It might explode from the terrible, terrible jokes that are toilet jokes. So that's all for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. For those of you who watch, of course, and for those of you who subscribe, for those who join the Ravelry group, and for those who comment, it's very reassuring to me when I see that people are enjoying this podcast, because I do want to make this enjoyable for you. So I think I said this, but thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.